What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today. Lots of transfer news coming up. Arsenal bid rejected for Buendia, being linked with Bissouma, and also potential talk of Aubameyang leaving the football club. What do you guys think about that? Big up to everyone in the chat. Yes, Guna, I tell what you're saying. Big up Jack, MO7, Social DRG. What are they saying here? Oh, late apology. Well, my bad, people. There you go. I'm 3 or 4 minutes late. Apologies, man. Better late than never, you know. Big up History Shaw TV. As I said, you can see the background, man. You're only going to see old pictures in the background for now, you know. Marshall said, peace, Big C. As a Liverpool fan, I don't see why Bissouma would join Arsenal given the circumstances you guys are in. He's more likely to join us for Champions League football. Big up. Hey, big up, man. Listen, what I'm hearing, what I'm reading now is that they're not that interested in him, Liverpool. They're not really looking to get Bissouma. So maybe we do get him, you know. Maybe we do get him. History settings, you know. History channel settings. Big up Adrian, big up Samuel, and big up Shafi, man. I hope you're all well. Big up Omar. And yeah, according to sources, Liverpool don't want Bissouma. So that's why we have... you know, we have such a good opportunity of potentially getting him. So let's get into the stories anyway. And the news for the day, people. Obviously, the news that most of you would have heard. Last night, it came out that Arsenal have made a £30 million bid for Emiliano Buendia, the attacking midfielder from Norwich. It was reported a few days ago, actually, that the chairman of Norwich said that he would allow maybe Max Aarons or Buendia to go, but they would want at least 30 million plus to make that happen. Arsenal have now made an offer. It's an official offer. It was reported by The Sun, and everyone was a bit like, The Sun, you know, I'm not sure if we can trust that, but it's all over the media now. And £30 million offer for Emiliano Buendia. And that has been rejected by Norwich. Initially, they've rejected it. Rumours now that they want closer to 40 million to make the deal happen. And we've also got a bid from Aston Villa for Buendia as well. So it looks like it could turn into a bit of an auction situation where both clubs are kind of making offers. And Norwich will want that because that will drive the price up. Maybe we would have got Buendia for 30 million, but with Aston Villa in the background making the same offer, it's going to make it more difficult to get that deal done, unfortunately. So initial offer rejected. Big up Franny Green, Forever Football. A lot of you will have seen him on my channel. He's now changed his name to FFTV just to make it a little bit easier to manage. So instead of Forever Football with Francis Green, I believe it's now FFTV. So keep your eye out for that. Obviously, the situation regarding Buendia, he's got a 20% sell-on clause from Getafe, his previous club. So, of course, Norwich, for example, a £30 million bid would have only got them £24 million for this guy. So they're going to have to offer more than that to get the deal done. Now, how this is going to have to work is that Aston Villa, of course, have matched the bid. Here, Buendia has the same agent as Emiliano Martinez, the former Arsenal player. And, you know, will that play a part in his influence in what club he goes to? Maybe he would be interested in going to Aston Villa. You know, maybe he looks at the style of football as well of Aston Villa and says, you know what, I like the way they play football. So I think it says a lot about Arsenal and where we are as a football club that we're genuinely having to go into battle to sign a player with Aston Villa. Like, no disrespect to Villa. Listen, I'm from the Midlands myself. Aston Villa are a big, big club with a good reputation as well. But Arsenal should be able to get a player ahead of Aston Villa. No disrespect to Villa. listen, I'm sure Martinez will be doing his work. Buendia is currently on international duty with Argentina. This is his first call-up. Martinez is over there as well. So you can imagine the conversations that they're having on the training ground. He's saying, listen, come and play for these, man, McGinn and what's the guy? Grealish and Watkins and all them guys. They play good football, man. So, listen, we'll see what happens with that. I think this is going to cost 35 to 40 million pounds to get done. Are you guys happy with Buendia coming to Arsenal? Do you think he's worth potentially 40 million pounds? Would you pay that for him? He's 24 years of age at the moment. Will be an Argentinian international. And listen, he was Championship Player of the Season last year, but can he do it in the Premier League? Before we carry on, rest in peace to Alan Miller, former Arsenal goalkeeper who sadly passed away. I believe he played for Arsenal during Kevin Campbell's time there as well. So obviously next time that I have Kev on the channel, I will ask him about that. But sad news there. Former Arsenal goalkeeper Alan Miller sadly passed away in the last day or two. Peter said I'd pay 40 million all day long. Listen, it's the going rate nowadays, isn't it? That's the going rate for this kind of player. So we'll have to wait and see on that. It's an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. In terms of Buendia, I mean, the talk now is that Odegaard is going to stay at Real Madrid. The talk is that with them reappointing Carlo Ancelotti, he's going to give him a chance. And the 50 million pound that they were looking for me, Buendia is not a 50 million pound player. I do like him as a player. I've liked what I've seen of him, but I don't think he justifies that kind of money. And I don't think that he scores enough goals. I just don't think Odegaard hits the back of the net enough, affects the opposition defense enough. Like you said, someone said there, Reyes, I didn't even realize, Reyes in the background. What a quality player he was as well, man. I remember this game like it was yesterday. R9 Ronaldo, I have to admit, is my favorite footballer of all time. That was my idol growing up. And I always remember in this game, Henry just brushing him off, making him fall over about 5 seconds before he runs past their defense, slots it past Casillas with his left foot. But as I said, man, we're Arsenal History Channel right now, I haven't been a regular in recent months because of exams and research. Now back in full swing. How's everything? Good, man. We're just, frustrated. We want to see more. Seb says, big up Curtis and all in the chat. Sorry to be late. Caught up with yesterday's stream. Good to have you back. Big up, man. Appreciate all the support. Big up Tony said, I don't think we need to worry about Villa. Some Arsenal fans need to stop worrying. Don't matter how bad, we'll still be bigger than Villa. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but there's no guarantees, Listen, I remember growing up, Nottingham Forest was my local team. 2 European Cups in the Premier League, great history. They end up in the Championship. They've never come back to the Premier League since. I remember Leeds United, Champions League, was it quarterfinal, semi-final, Leeds United growing up? Top 4, Viduka, Hasselbank. They went Championship. They've only just got back. So you can never take it for granted. I'm not saying that Arsenal would get relegated. I don't believe Arsenal would, but we can fall down the ladder even further if we don't sort ourselves out, Rush said, Arsenal competing with Villa for league position and signings. We are finished. Leeds, it was the semi-final. Galatasaray, I believe. And look what happened to them. R9 already. I think R9's better than Eddie even now, and he's about 45 and probably about 20 stone. If you don't want to be the History Channel, you need to realize what the player market price is now. No JVC on kits anymore. Unfortunately, this is where we are. Will we ever see Arsenal lift the European Cup? I mean, we might win the Conference League. You never know. Let's have a little look at Buendia. Is he the real deal? Is this the guy we need? Of course, this was him last season. Most chances created in Europe. You do have to bear in mind that this stat is in the Championship. 62 major chances created last season, more than Jack Grealish. But of course, Grealish doing it in the Prem. He's doing it in the Championship. So we'll have to see on that one. But listen, he's done his job, what he can do in the Championship. 62 chances created, and it's one of them, innit? We'll have to see if he can take that kind of stat into the Premier League. A lot of people rate him highly. When we have a look at his numbers for last season in the Championship, I mean, he was named Championship Player of the Season. As you can see, he's had 1 year in the Prem and 2 in the Championship. Now, I think the one thing that worries people is this one here, is the fact that in the Prem, 1 goal, 7 assists. Whereas in the Championship, 15 goals and 16 assists last season. So people will have that thought that, well, you know, can he do it in the Championship but not quite do it in the Prem? But listen, I've watched him a few times. I think he's a good player. Yeah, as someone said there, I'm from St. Anne's, bro. So if you know Notts, you know St. Anne's, of course. 36 games in the Prem, 1 goal, 7 assists, 6 yellow cards, 1 red. In his first season in the Champ, 8 goals, 12 assists. And then last season, 15 goals, 16 assists. He's now an Argentinian international, 24 years of age. As South London's finest saying, the Championship isn't no joke. It's a very difficult league. I think we have to take a chance on him. You know, I do. What I would do if I was Arsenal, Norwich are a team that have just come up from the Championship, and I think we've got players in our squad that we would probably get rid of, that Norwich would take, without being disrespectful, where you could reduce the cost of this deal. I'm thinking Eddie Nketiah, or I'm thinking Reece Nelson, you know, players like that. Maybe even a Rob Holding or something like that. I mean, some of you guys may rate Rob Holding. I don't particularly. I'm just throwing names out there. Even El Neni, someone like that. If you could chuck them someone like that and get some money off it, then I think we could do that. John says, big up Curtis. That game got me talking the most rubbish to all my friends. Now we're going to have to wear Sega, Dreamcast and JVC. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is right now. Give them Eddie on loan. Yeah, give them Eddie on a permanent, bruv, you know. Great shout. Yeah, smash the likes, people. We're only about 30 subscribers away from 26,000. So if we could hit that today, that'll be a great way to, you know, finish up on the Friday. Eddie wouldn't make it in the Championship. I mean, he did struggle at Leeds in the Championship, I have to admit. I mean, he is a right winger / number 10. And he did an interview recently where he said his favourite position was playing just behind the striker. So I think he could play 10. Buendia takes corners and free kicks, so always a bonus. You know, Arsenal are terrible from set pieces. Jim Gooner said, big up Big C, the argument of a player only being good because he's in the Championship is immature. You can only perform in the league you're in, although he didn't in the Premier League. He was still their best player. And I think, yeah, you have to... I believe he was still the 3rd highest in chances created when he was in the Premier League. So he was still doing the business. It's just he was in a team that was struggling in the Prem. I mean, I think they finished bottom of the league when Norwich were in the Prem. So there's only so much that he can do, really, in such a poor team. So, and listen, you have to bear in mind that Grealish, Maddison, you know, these guys came from the Championship. And how much would you pay for them guys now? You'd pay, you know, Grealish will cost you 70 million plus. Maddison would probably cost you 50 million plus. So, no, I agree with you there. I think he's done the business. And I still think, you know, he deserves the move. Ilya said, what's up, Curtis? Looking forward to some more Arsenal therapy. Getting depressed that other clubs are trying to progress while we are continuously regressing. Conte to Tottenham will be salt in the wound. I think, listen, do you know what it is? The only hope that Arsenal fans have, for me, with the Antonio Conte one, is that you kind of hope that him and Daniel Levy clash, and that one doesn't work. But what my biggest problem is, a lot of people were saying on yesterday's show, oh, don't worry about Conte going to Tottenham. It's Tottenham. They'll Spurs it up as usual. But what my issue is more is that how are clubs that are not as big as us showing more ambition than us? That's my biggest problem. Now, if Arsenal are going to keep Mikel Arteta, which they are, really go and back him. Really show everyone that this is the manager you want. You feel he can make it at this level. And show him what show all the fans that they can believe in something. But we're playing about. We're having offers rejected. We're competing with Aston Villa for players. Get the deal done. Get the deal done and wrap it up quickly. I don't want to. We can't afford to mess about. We're playing catch up. When you're playing catch up, to me, you've got to be the most on the ball team out of everyone because they're already ahead of you. Manchester City are not in no rush because, they've just smashed the league apart. But we actually need to make up ground on these teams. People have to understand. We talk about, is London red? Is this, that, the other? If we're going off the here and now, we were the 4th highest London-based club in the Premier League last season. Chelsea, Tottenham and West Ham finished above Arsenal last year. Who did we finish above? Fulham and Crystal Palace in the Prem. That is it. We got to start being realistic. And this is what I keep saying to people. A lot of people are saying, okay, Chelsea aren't bigger than Arsenal because of the history, the size of the club. All right, I hear you on that, even though I don't fully agree with it. But what I'm saying is we can't rely on the history. History only does so much. History doesn't win you games of football. I don't believe that teams are scared to play Arsenal anymore. When I used to go to Highbury, I believe that teams were scared of that Arsenal team. I speak to some players now who play in the Premier League, and I ask them, what is it like when you play against Arsenal, especially as an attacking player? And they say, it's an audition. It's an opportunity for them to want to sign you, or because they're not scared of Arsenal. Arsenal are not the most physically aggressive team. They're not difficult to play against. You can get joy against Arsenal. Big up Leo Messi. He said, if Arsenal really wanted Buendia, they would have done the business already. Big up Big C. Love the channel. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate your super chat and support. I mean, you just look at it. And listen, we know football works like this sometimes. You put an offer in, it's rejected. You come back again. You negotiate, you get the deal done. But let's be honest. If Manchester United, if Manchester City, if Chelsea, if Liverpool, if any of those teams were signing Buendia, I don't think it would be played out like this. I just don't. I think you would turn on Sky Sports News or you would go on Twitter and you would see Manchester City have agreed a £35 million deal. Chelsea have, Liverpool have, Man United have. It just gets done. They do their work in the background. When it comes out, the deal's almost done. But Arsenal, we're making offers in public. 30 million rejected. Everyone knows about it. You're giving other clubs an opportunity there to go, maybe we'll have a piece of Buendia. We need a number 10, 35 million or whatever's not too bad. Why make it so public? Let it go public when the deal's done. That's what frustrates me with Arsenal. Like, to me, we're only a big club in history right now. We have to move like a big club, act like a big club. If you want Buendia, get him done. I don't want to talk about Buendia. I should be talking about Buendia today, saying, right, 35 million. Arsenal have agreed terms. The first one of the summer's on his way in, and now we can get that done and focus on the next one. Yeah, United are a little bit bad. But the only difference with United are trying to sign players for 100 million like Sancho. So those ones are a little bit more played out. But when they're signing a man for 30 million, 35 million, I don't feel like you have that same level of public interest in the deal and all being played out in public. When they bought Van der Beek last year, 40 million, I heard about it and it was done. It was just pretty much done. When Chelsea went in for Ziyech, 35 million, done. Werner was going Liverpool, next minute Chelsea, done. I think when you're buying players for 100 million, 80 million, even with, what's his name, Maguire, the fridge, that was quite played out in the media as well. Curtis Austrix, is there snobbery towards players at lower teams or playing in the Championship? How come Leicester are finding gems in France? I think there is snobbery towards Championship players, especially from Arsenal. We've seen teams like Liverpool with Robertson. Leicester obviously got Maguire was he from Hull City, I think? Wijnaldum went to Liverpool from Newcastle. I think they'd just been relegated. Listen, naturally, you want to buy the star names, don't you? You want to buy the guy from Madrid, Barcelona, whatever. But I think we've got to get that out of our head right now. We've signed Denis Suarez from Barcelona. We've just taken Odegaard from Real Madrid. We've had Ceballos from Madrid. None of them have really been a major success. So we got to get out of that. And listen, this is the year. If ever there was a year to buy a player from France, it was this year. The French league is in financial turmoil. Apart from PSG, who obviously get huge backing from their owners, there is so many financial problems in France this year. You look at Lille. Lille have just won the league. Their manager's left, gone to a mid-table team. They've refused to give contracts to certain players. You know, like you said, Samora and players like that on their way. This is the year to go to France and go and try and get an Aouar, or could we get a Memphis Depay? Or, you know, there's loads of talent in France. Curtis, we haven't been a force in football for 15 years. Wenger left a weak mentality and it's hard to break. Great point. And like I said, I'm going to have to make a whole video about this Arsene Wenger situation. I had him on the green screen yesterday, and a lot of people were saying, that's a discussion we need to have, you know. How much of this, what we're going through now, is Arsene Wenger's fault? As much as I think Arsene Wenger is a legend, he didn't leave the football club in a good position. When Ferguson left United, they were champions. He left them on top. Wenger left us in a mess. And we're still trying to clear it up now. Even though, listen, I think it was outstanding what he did, particularly in the earlier years. I think towards the end, he did more damage than good. Jorge, thank you very much for your super chat, bro. Said, got my Florida tickets. I hope more Kroenke out flags will be out there. It's time for a change. No signings will change that. Do you know what? I'm looking to get over it. I'm looking into it. But I'm just not sure what the travel situation is at the moment regarding traveling from the UK to America to Florida. So I'm just looking into it at the moment. I would love to get over there. I would love to get over there and watch Arsenal over there. Arsenal won't be traveling anywhere outside of England this year, that's for certain, after not making Europe. Our lowball offers are almost insulting. Yeah, it's embarrassing, isn't it? There's no need for it. There's no need for it. Michael Connor, thank you for the super chat, bruv. Said, Arsenal are saying they will listen to offers for Aubameyang. Would you sell? And if yes, how much would you want? Me, 25 mil max. Michael, hold that thought for a little bit. That's one of my later subjects that we're going to get onto. But I like the fact that you know, I mean, 25 mil, that would worry me. But listen, I will get there, Michael. But thank you very much for your super chat. Ben said, Chelsea are an elite club. We ain't elite. Not one European trophy, and we're still talking about FA Cups. I mean, what did we get? A Cup Winners' Cup or whatever back in the day? That doesn't even exist anymore. Like Omar's saying, we move so slow in the market. If you want Buendia and you're a big football club, and a guy's just come up from Norwich, that should be light work. It should be light work. But Arsenal make it difficult. Charlie said, Curtis, I noticed yesterday you said Spurs won't win the league with Conte. All I'm saying is he is a winner and Poch isn't. Look what they almost achieved with Poch. Listen, Charlie, thank you for your comment. I don't think they'll win the title with Conte, not because Conte is not a fantastic manager, because like I've said, I think he's one of the best managers in the world, I've got to be honest. He went to Inter Milan, European final first year, got top four, and then won the league after years of Juventus dominance. Scored 89 goals, you know, best defense in the league as well. Rejuvenated Lukaku, you know, I think he's an outstanding manager. Went to Chelsea when they finished 10th, won the title the first season, blew it away, won the FA Cup the next season. I just don't think Daniel Levy will give him the kind of backing that he needs to get Tottenham to the title. I think Tottenham are years behind Manchester City. And if City go and get, for example, a Harry Kane this summer, I don't see Spurs getting to that point. Can he get them into the top four or maybe win a trophy? That's possible, but I don't see Spurs winning the title, even if they do get a Conte. But listen, I'm just more frustrated that, number one, Arsenal weren't looking at Conte, a manager that I would have loved to have seen Arsenal get. And I'm just frustrated to see, whether it works or not at Spurs, I'm frustrated that a club that has been in our shadows for years is showing way more ambition than us. That's what I find very frustrating. Tim said, USA not accepting UK tourists at the moment. Is that right? This is what I mean. Any of you guys, I know there's quite a lot of people who watch the channel from the States. let me know, if possible, what is the situation in the States with people traveling from the UK? Would I be able to go over there and watch Arsenal play in Florida? I just don't know. I've been trying to read up on it, and there's not really any clear information. Wenger should have left after the 2015 FA Cup. He kept getting top four, and the Kroenkes kept sucking the money. Yeah, that's true. We're in Florida. I believe it's in Orlando. William said Florida is wide open right now. We are back to 100%. Ah, there you go. There you go, man. Hey, William, I'm on my way, man. I'm looking into it. I'm definitely looking into it. Although some of you saying not allowed, so I'm not sure. Buendia, 30 million plus £1. Yeah, exactly. Curtis, Liverpool have begun negotiations with Fiorentina striker what's his name? Vlahovic. Apparently he's very good. Very good. I heard a lot of people saying Arsenal should look him. I think he's only 21. Melbourne said, Curtis, would be fun to meet you in Florida. Listen, hopefully I can get over there, man. Hopefully I can get over there. Listen, John, if I go over there, it would be, it would be a holiday / Arsenal. So if some of you are going, don't travel for Arsenal, listen, I would turn it into a break, of course. Arsenal would just be the bonus, John said, good afternoon, Big C. Please don't go to Florida for Arsenal. Just go for a holiday. Arsenal is not worth watching. They're taking the pee out of all of us. Mash the likes, people. Yeah, like I said, man, it would be holiday settings and Arsenal would just be a bonus, man. And Matt said you can do whatever you want in Florida. Nick said Florida and Texas have no restrictions, but traveling there is the issue. Tim said USA still has the tourist ban for EU, UK. Please don't book a flight. Well, I will have to look into it. Obviously, it seems like it's not clear cut. So we'll see. Yeah, just back to Buendia, of course, and I just wanted to finish with obviously the Buendia situation and whether he's somebody that we should look at and bring him in. It looks like we are going to go in with another offer for him. This was obviously him during his full season in the Premier League, and I think it was just the fact he didn't play for a particularly good team. Most chances created that season in the Prem. 96 major chances created. Trent with 73. Third in the league. Third. That's De Bruyne with 96. Buendia third with 70. And Trent second with 73. Had more than Jack Grealish and Maddison. I think when you consider the level of team that he's playing for, I think that he deserves credit for that, So you have to back him on that. Big up Growing Man Travels. Tristan Lowe said, yes, Curtis, Nottingham was a hotbed of MCs back in the 90s. MR45 from Radford. Yo, beer, man. St. Anne's, Nottingham. There was Radford. All over Notts, man. Plenty of top MCs, man. Big up for tuning in, though, bruv. Ilya said, Curtis, do you think Pereira is a better option? Prem proven. So you're talking about, who did he play for? West Brom. Just been relegated. He's being linked with a move to Leipzig at the moment. So it may be a difficult one. So I don't see it, unfortunately. What's this one here? It's fitting a dinosaur is our mascot because we are going to be extinct. That's how we're moving, man. That's how we're moving, bro. I'm telling you, you're right. It's only right that we have a dinosaur right now because that's how we're moving, Love them, Buendia. Stats be a shame if we don't get him. Listen, my opinion on Buendia, get the deal done. I want him. I got to be honest. I wasn't totally convinced by him at the start, but for me, I want him. My issue is when it comes to Odegaard is that not enough goal threat. He doesn't score. He doesn't get assists. Doesn't shoot that much. And yeah, I don't want Odegaard. If we could get Odegaard on loan, I could have seen it happening. But in terms of, they were talking about 50 million Real Madrid for Odegaard, no chance. So for me, Buendia, 15 goals, 16 assists, 24, 2-footed, bit of Santi Cazorla about his play. So for me, Buendia, I think it will cost close to 40 to get him. As I said, there's a 20% sell-on clause to Getafe. So at 30 million, that only gets Norwich 24 million for their best player. That's not going to be enough. So, 40 million would get them 32 million. But as I said earlier, if I'm Arsenal, I would be chucking money in plus a player. I would try and reduce the fee by, maybe putting in a Reece Nelson, an Eddie Nketiah, or someone like that, an El Neni, somebody that they would possibly take that would reduce the transfer fee. So, yeah, Buendia for me, I would go for it. And I hope we get that one done over the next few days. So keep your eye out on that. Sports Genius said, Big C, Florida is beautiful. I'm going in July. Listen, big up to everyone going. I'm just, before I book anything, I just want to make sure that I can go over there and, and check out. I'll probably ring the US Embassy in London and try and find out, Raheem said, what's your view on Wenger, Curtis? Consistent top 4 finisher. It's a difficult one. And like I said, I'm going to do a video on this next week. So look out for that. I'm going to go in depth. I'm going to want you guys lots of interaction on that. I think it's a subject that we've never really spoken about too much. Gift and a curse. Someone put in the comments earlier, gift and a curse. He brought me the best football that I have ever seen as an Arsenal fan. He brought the best players. He was just amazing. But he faded. I don't think he moved with the game, the way the game was moving, becoming about money. I think he didn't like paying agents big money. He didn't really see what they did. That's why we missed out on Kante. There's so much to talk about. The Luis Suarez deal, I believe that was a turning point in Arsene Wenger's career. I think if he would have got Luis Suarez at that time, Arsenal would have won the Premier League. We were a 20-goal striker away from winning the title. Those sort of years when Leicester won it and we were stuck with Giroud for too long. He bought Welbeck, Lucas Perez, Podolski, all decent players, but none of them were good enough. So, listen, that's going to take a whole video though, Raheem, Buendia gives me Alexis vibes. Direct, both-footed, can beat a man, scores. He reminds me a bit more of Santi, than Alexis. But we'll see. We will see. Let's get that one done. Ronaldo, Suarez, Kante. Ronaldo was at London Colney, mate. He had a shirt with his name on the back. We never got the deal done. Suarez, we flopped. That deal was there to be done. Kante, they wouldn't pay the agent fee. We could talk about them all day. Zlatan, all of them. You could do a whole team about it. But hey, right, let's move on, people. Let's move on. Different subject. Another signing that we are hoping to get done. Big up Terry and the Football Terrace, man. Keep doing the great work on your channel, Tel. Hopefully we'll link up soon, get some work done. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Bissouma, I think we all know this is a deal that if we don't get this deal done this summer, I think we can all point towards our own football club, right? Because this deal seems to be in the palm of their hands. And for some reason, they just can't wrap it up. I said earlier on last week that this summer was not about glamour. This isn't about the glitz and glamour signings. We've done this many times and it hasn't worked. We've gone to Real Madrid and picked up their leftovers, as we've seen with Ceballos, Odegaard. No disrespect to Odegaard because he is a decent player, but he's not the answer, Tel said 1,000% always welcome and the new studio is coming. Big up, Tel. Keep doing your great work. Anyone who hasn't, go and check out the Football Terrace. Go and support Terry. I believe he's on his way to 200k. So big up, Tel, for tuning in. And yeah, we'll get some work done over the summer, Tel. Get you on here for your debut. I don't think you've been on here yet. But this deal seems to be in the palm of our hands. And as you can see here, the story coming from the AFC Bell. Anybody who's on Twitter, I recommend highly that you go and follow the AFC Bell. He has inside information on Arsenal, right? He has it. He gets it right so often. And he has come out today and said Bissouma is mad about Arsenal and has told those close to him that a move to Arsenal is at the top of his priorities. The two clubs just have to reach an agreement. I mean, remember that Jay-Z song? What the hell are you waiting for? What are we waiting for, man? What are we waiting for? Someone else to go and make an offer for him? A week or two ago, apparently Liverpool wanted him, but it's been dismissed by the press in Liverpool, saying there's no link. He's not the kind of player that they want. And the guy is actually desperate to join us. There aren't too many footballers that are good that actually want to join us. Yeah, encore, man. You know what I'm talking about. Encore. Do you want more? What are we waiting for, man? Get the deal done. Go and follow the AFC Bell, man. He's legit. He knows what he's talking about. Arsenal, fix up. Get your business done early. What you don't want is the summer to drag on. And what happens later on, players start moving to different clubs. So all of a sudden, Liverpool might be sitting there now going, nah, I don't want Buendia. Or maybe they're going to approach someone else. And then if that deal doesn't work, all of a sudden they might go, cool, you know what? We will go for Bissouma. And all of a sudden, Bissouma forgets quickly about Arsenal, you know. Oh, I'm a boyhood Arsenal fan, but that goes out the window real quick when certain other clubs turn up. If you want Buendia, if you want Bissouma, get the deals done early. You know, why are other teams announcing deals already? Liverpool have already signed Kanate, you know. Get the deal done. Yeah, AFC Bell, he called out that Thomas Partey deal from day one and he stuck by it and he got it right and he's got other ones right as well. Fantastic account worth following. Kante part 2, I hope not. This is all about getting the right signings. I've said many times, Arsenal have a core of a decent team if we can get the most out of them. There's 6 or 7 players there that you can work with. You know, I believe Leno will be here next year. I think Gabriel has got a big future ahead of him. Kieran Tierney's brilliant. You know, Partey, Smith Rowe, Saka, Pepe, and Aubameyang. For me, that is your spine there. That's your 6 or 7. What you need is a Bissouma, a Buendia, maybe a Max Aarons, and I still think we could do with a centre-back, you know. But we're just messing around. We're waiting. Stop waiting. We can't do this again. You know, we get linked with someone like this all summer and then we end up signing someone else, you know. So I just hope they don't mess about this time. Deadline day, yeah, we did. We used to do it all the time under Arsene Wenger. You know, we'd wait till the last day of the window, then we're scrambling around for someone. Arsenal got him shut down when he started revealing the details of what Raul was doing at the club. There you go. Say no more, man. Say no more. You know, AFC Bell knows what he's talking about, man. There were rumors that the club got his account closed down because of stuff that was being revealed. So definitely worth following on social media for anybody that, you know, wants a little inside information. Rick Brown said, Curtis, you said you would buy the shirt if they make a big signing. Would there be a bit of forgiveness if Josh starts getting on board with this project? Nah, not really, you know. They wouldn't. I think too much damage has been done for me to just forgive them. Now, don't get me wrong, and I've said this openly. Josh is not the owner of the football club, right? His dad is the owner. And it looks as if he's put him in charge and said, listen, go and run that. Go and see what you can do over there. So I can't necessarily throw all the blame on Josh, but he's a part of it. He's a part of it. They're not going to blow the transfer market up this summer. Definitely not. It's Arsenal. I think our record transfer window is around 110 million. I can't see us going crazier than that. I can't see us making a big signing this summer. I think we probably might get a Buendia done. The Bissouma one worries me because most of the links seem to be coming from elsewhere. I'm not hearing much from Arsenal, you know, to say that Arsenal are really trying to get a deal done. It seems to be more that he wants to come, the fans want him to come, but doesn't seem too certain. So, Josh, for me, wouldn't get forgiven that quick. Club with no ambition equals players with no ambition. Yeah, it could be. Bissouma, the next Zaha, another player that desperately wants to join that, you know, we probably will walk away from. And yeah, in terms of buying a shirt, listen, I've said many times, I'm in no rush to buy a shirt. You lot know me, people. If I want to buy a shirt, buy a training kit, I'll grab it. Yeah, that yellow kit came out. You know, I had no interest in it. I'd rather have that yellow kit in the background that Thierry Henry's wearing. You know, I'd rather wear that, to be honest, than wear this new one, because at least that stands for something. At least we were moving like a proper team then. Smash the likes on the video, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Over 1,200 of you in it. We're only 20 subscribers away from 26,000, so that would be a great little boost for this Friday going into the weekend. We've got about a week until the Euros begins. And yeah, we're keeping it locked. We'll see what happens. Obviously, if this is the final, well, one of the final stories of the day, and I wanted to know your thoughts on this. Arsenal only gave Aubameyang a new £350,000 a week contract last summer, but there are already murmurings that the club would listen to offers for him. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this, people. And I've read this whole story, the whole article. I couldn't get it all up, but I just thought I'd show you the headline and I'll break it down for you. And Omar, I might have known that you would be saying this, take the offer, see you later. Because I know you've given him a lot of stick this season. Interestingly enough, it's Chelsea, the club that seem to be being linked with Aubameyang. Now, Chelsea apparently wanted Harry Kane, but there is bad blood between Tottenham and Chelsea from a deal involving Luka Modric a few years ago when Chelsea tried to buy him. Daniel Levy apparently said he would never do business with Chelsea. And they're desperate for a striker. Lukaku has come out and said that he is staying at Inter Milan for at least one more year. So Chelsea need a striker. Aubameyang's best season was under Thomas Tuchel at Borussia Dortmund. You saw the two hugging before the game when Arsenal played against Chelsea. And they may feel that short term, for a couple of years, Aubameyang could be an answer. Now, in this article, it's saying between 30 and 35 million pounds for Aubameyang. It seems that Mikel Arteta was not massively convinced by Aubameyang. I think what's kind of happened, he's walked into the club. Aubameyang was the top player. He was on fire at the time. And the club got the deal done. And Arteta was obviously an influence in getting that deal done to sign him, up to a new contract for 3 more years. I think we can all see that Arteta doesn't fully love Aubameyang's style. He plays him on the left. He's played him on the right. He's tried to play Laka through the middle and Ketia. Clearly, he's not fully convinced by Aubameyang and maybe his style of play and what he offers. So I want to know the question for you guys. Would you sell Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Right. First of all, I want to know, would you sell him? Number 2, how much money would you want for him if you were prepared to sell him? But number 3, would you be prepared to sell him to Chelsea? Bear in mind, that's one of the clubs that we'd probably be competing with for top 4. So I want to know your answers to those 3. Maybe you'd be willing to sell him, but not to Chelsea. How much would you want for him? Or do you think, look, it's a blip. He's had a bad year in a poor Arsenal team with Arteta's awful tactics and give him one more season? Let me know in the comments and I'll get into your comments. Mr. Ugaga, thank you very much for your super chat, bro. Said everything about the Bissouma deal is right. And that for that reason, we'll go and overpay for some dead baller. Yeah, it'd be typical of Arsenal, wouldn't it? Tony said sell, not to any club in England, though. Real Cap said 50 million, but I wouldn't sell him. Yeah, because realistically, you ain't getting 50 million for him. Omar said 25 million is enough. I mean, listen, the only issue I've got, there aren't many footballers at Arsenal that I'd be bothered if we sold, apart from your Saka, Smith Rowe, Pepe, Gabriel, maybe Partey, probably Tierney. That's about it. Maybe 1 or 2 others. But you have to replace players. You can't forget that Aubameyang's just had a very bad year, right? Very bad year. I think it was circumstantial, but at the same time, I do think he's fading slightly. But I don't think he gets on with this manager. I really don't. I just don't think there's a connection with the manager. I think he looks at it and thinks, I've trusted you to sign this new deal and you've led me down the river. You have to replace him. You have to replace him. Now, I remember when we were talking about selling Lacazette, most people in the comments were saying, sell Lacazette, sell him. So if you're prepared to sell Lacazette and you're then saying sell Aubameyang, where are your goals coming from? Because Balogun ain't going to score the goals because he's probably not going to play. You've then got, who else? Eddie. Eddie needs to go as well. So where are the goals coming from? If you're going to sell Aubameyang for some people saying 25, 30 mil, who's going to replace him? Or would you keep Lacazette if you sell Aubameyang? Let me know. Let me know, people. VJ, thank you for the super chat. Said Arsenal are easily the worst team of the big six. Leicester are better than Arsenal as well. Arsenal are easily the 7th best team and finished 7th. To what extent did Arteta actually underachieve? For me, I disagree with parts of that. I appreciate your super chat and your support, VJ. We're better than West Ham. We're better than West Ham. I think we've got a better squad than Leicester. I think Leicester's 11 and ours is close. You would argue with some of theirs, some of ours. We've definitely got better strength in depth than them. And look, let's face it, football is not always about, does the best squad in Europe win the Champions League every year? Chelsea haven't got the best squad in Europe. They haven't got the best team in Europe. They've just finished, 4th in the Premier League, but they won the Champions League. Teams under managers, under the right system, they overachieve. So we can say, all right, Arsenal have got the 7th best team or whatever, but that doesn't mean they can't finish 4th if the manager gets a better tune out of them. So that, for me, football is not as clear-cut as that, is it? But I understand your point, but Arteta definitely underachieved, and the football was dreadful. Crafty Gooner, thank you very much for your comment. Says, I don't think we'd get anywhere near enough money for Aubameyang to be able to replace him. People saying bring back Welbeck. Welbeck doing Cruyff turns and banging it in the corner. Raul said Chelsea are not our rivals. Wolves, Villa, Everton and Spurs are. I mean, listen, we've got to aim higher whether we like it or not. I mean, you're probably not wrong in your comment. But if we believe that, we'll never get out of that situation. Bin Lacazette swapping for Depay. Listen, that's something personally that I would be interested in. Rumours that the Depay to Barcelona deal may not definitely happen. Again, that's another video we need to look into in terms of potential new strikers. Definitely need to do that. Big up, Raul. Thank you very much for becoming a member. You're always commenting and supporting the channel. Really appreciate that. There will be a members stream this weekend. Look out in the community page for that. But I appreciate you joining. Lots of content coming up this summer, people. Ex-footballers, current footballers, watch-alongs, some different guests of other channels as well. So keep it locked, people. And like I said, subscribe. Can we hit 26K? Today, I think we only need we need about 10 more subscribers and we're there. So let's hope we can hit that 26K by the end of the video. Yes, Curtis, agree, Arsenal squad better. And that's from a very stubborn Leicester fan as well. And listen, I rate Leicester highly. I think they're very good. But you look at their strength in depth on the bench. We're likely to have maybe a Lacazette and players of that sort of quality on the bench and £50 million players. Congrats. So, yeah, big up Raul, man, for becoming a member. Chemistry between players is underrated, 100%. And you build that with understanding, with success, with the right system. If the system doesn't feel like it's working, it's very difficult to build chemistry, Zenith, thank you very much for your super chat. Said, we didn't sell Ainsley Maitland-Niles for 25 million, expect to get Buendia for 30. Act like a big club now. Let's get all the players we need for one transfer window and get them done early. I don't want to be sitting here watching the Euros going, do you know what? We haven't signed one player yet. And maybe some of our targets are playing in the Euros and their price is going up. People have got to understand that Buendia's in the Argentina squad, right? This is his first call-up for Argentina. So he goes to the Copa America and starts ripping it up. All of a sudden, you might get a PSG, you might get a Bayern Munich, you might get an Atletico Madrid, who haven't really watched too much of him because he's not an international, he's not in the Prem. They might look at him and go, yeah, we'll take him, he looks brilliant. How much? 35 mil, that's peanuts, we'll take that. Arsenal can't afford to wait. We can't afford to be reactive. We're the team trying to play catch-up. It's the teams in front have got that luxury of going, no rush. If you're Manchester City, you can go, no rush. Just won the Prem, got loads of money to spend. It's not necessary for them to be as proactive as us. But we're playing catch up. We can't afford to mess about. Get your business done early. Mr. Modo, thank you very much for the super chat. Said, would this Aubameyang rumour be a way to make room for Raheem Sterling? You know what? I haven't really done a video about the Sterling situation yet. I do think it's a massive clickbait story. So I haven't really got into it too much. There is a rumour that Arsenal are front runners to get Sterling, his close relationship with Arteta, the fact he's a London boy as well. I think obviously the fact that he's played for Man City, so you look at the big six, he's at City. Liverpool would definitely not take him back. He's got, a bad relationship with Liverpool. He's not going to go to Man United from City. Chelsea got loads of wingers. That only really leaves Tottenham and Arsenal, and apparently, Arsenal are front runners. Would I get rid of Aubameyang for Sterling? I actually wouldn't. I don't think that. I don't think Sterling would thrive at Arsenal. We don't play good enough football. We don't move the ball quick enough. And listen, me personally, I'm going to give Aubameyang one more year. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't want to sell him to Chelsea. Why am I going to strengthen a rival? Even though we are a long way behind them, we have still got to try and catch them. And I just don't think we used him right this season. He didn't look happy. Didn't get the right service. Too many high crosses into the penalty area. So, yeah, I would stick with Oba for one more year. Just based off the fact what he did the previous 2.5 years, I think he's done more than anyone in an attacking sense for Arsenal. But if he had another bad year, yeah, I would get rid of him. John said, I'd sell Arteta, not Aubameyang. We all know Arteta caused his decline, or sell both of them, but you don't sell Aubameyang to Chelsea. I agree with that. They've just won the Champions League. You don't go and give them a striker. And, a lot of people saying Aubameyang's finished. You wait until, if he went to Chelsea with all that service, Mason Mount, Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, they would get the ball to him. Look at the amount of chances that Timo Werner has missed this season. That is not a bad place to be if you're a striker. It really isn't. There's chances there. Omar said no sentiment. But I get you. Listen, I hear you on that. There ain't no sentiment, but you also have to be realistic. If you look at Arsenal strikers right now, Lacazette, Balogun, Eddie Nketiah, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you ain't going to sell 4 strikers in one window. Obviously, Balogun's just signed a new deal. Balogun's unproven. We don't know if he's good enough yet. We're hyping him up, but we don't know if he's good enough, right? Then you look at Lacazette, year left on his deal. Would you renew his contract at 30? Even though he had a decent season, I'm still not sure about Lacazette. And Eddie Nketiah, I'd get rid of him, right? You can't just turn around and say, just sell Aubameyang. Where are your goals coming from? He's had a bad year. If a lot of people would be selling, man, every time they have a bad year. Martial's just had a bad year at United. Are United going to sell him? No, because they like him. They believe in him. Look, when Hazard had a bad season under Mourinho, did Chelsea go, well, Hazard's had a bad year, get rid of him? No, because they knew he's capable of more than that. You've just got to get more out of him. I think Aubameyang deserves one more year. That's just me. Jim Guna said, I agree. Aubameyang deserves to stay. 1 year when everything has gone wrong for him. COVID, his mum, malaria. He'll be back next season. And also a terrible system. What attacking player has thrived under this manager this season? Saka's done well. Most of his is individual quality. It's not collective brilliance. It's not like a great move. So, yeah, well, listen, for me, one more year, Aubameyang, what's 25 million going to do? We can't even get Buendia from the Championship for 30 million. So you get 25 million for Aubameyang. Who are you buying? They're talking about Danny Ings, 50 million. Lukaku, 80 million. That's the going rate for players. It is what it is. I would give him one more year. Some of you saying he's finished, and I hear it as well. But like you're saying here, Stones had a bad year or two. People said he was done. City were trying to get rid of him. They were talking about him going to Arsenal at one point. And now look, starting for England, starting for Manchester City, Laporte, who was their best centre-back the year before, has sat on the bench for most of this season. Defo, another year under a different system and manager. Aubameyang is still going to get you goals. I agree. I do think he'll get you goals, A lot of people write players off quickly, and I think sometimes you got to look at the whole circumstance. If Lacazette had scored 25 goals this year, I'd be like, you know what, Oba, you don't suit the system or whatever. But no one is thriving under this system. Look at the goals scored this year. You know, it's not happening. And like I said, it's Chelsea that are talking about coming and getting Aubameyang. Why are we going to sell? Whether we like it or not, whether you believe it or not, why would we sell our best striker to Chelsea? And like I said, them chances that Timo Werner's missing, you see if Aubameyang misses all them chances. Namal said, why are we spending 40 million on Buendia? Pay 60 for Grealish. I see, honestly, I'm not even sure 60 would get you Grealish. I think he'd be more than that. The problem you've got as well, Norwich are going to make this deal easier in terms of if you pay 40 million for him, don't worry, mate. Pay 10 million up front. Pay the other 30 over 5 years. Aston Villa ain't going to do that. Aston Villa are going to say, what? You want our very best player? Aston Villa look at us as a team that they believe they can catch. So they go, all right, 75 million and pay it all up front. Now what are you going to say? Now, Arsenal walk away from that negotiation table very quick, you know. Tim said, how bad a start next year will get Arteta sacked? I think Arteta will have, I think 10 games. If we're 10 games in and we've lost like 5 games already, I'm telling you, the Arsenal fan base will have no patience with him. Or I would say 95% of the Arsenal fan base right now are just frustrated, angry, annoyed. A lot of people said Christmas. I don't think he will get till Christmas. The season starts about halfway through August. You play maybe 3 games. You play 5 or 6 in September. Yeah, do you know what? I think you're spot on. Someone said there October. Gladiator Scoops, I think October. I think 10 to 12 games in. If he's struggling, I think he's gone. You know, with fans in the stadium, he will not have they'll have no patience with him. Every Arsenal fan's frustrated because they're going, number one, why are we not competing? Number two, our manager looks out of his depth. Like you should have either got rid of him or you've got to seriously back him. And the club are doing neither one. Number three, we want the owners out, but we don't seem to be able to come together and apply enough pressure to make life difficult. And, you know, you turn around there and Chelsea are winning the Champions League. And it's just like, you don't know where to go as a fan. You don't know what to do. You know, they're bringing out new kits and you want to buy a new. Let's be honest, right? Let's be totally honest here. When you support a football club, you want to support your club. You want to wear the shirts. That's part of being a fan. You want to buy the shirts. We're having to look at shirts and go, do you know what? I like it, but I'm not buying it because I don't believe in the direction of the football club. And this is how bad it's got, you know. We're having to stop ourselves and distance ourselves from the football club because we know that you just get let down under this ownership. And are they going to back this manager enough this summer? At the moment, there's a lot of question marks. You know, we got more questions than answers. Johnny AFC London Badlands said, yo, C just joined. Who's your number one striker choice that's realistic? If we sell Lacko, would you push Balogun? I would push Balogun, but I don't think to number one. I've said a few times, I like Memphis Depay. I think he's a good player. He's not the biggest of goal scorers, but I think he's a very good link-up player. He's a free agent. He's a good age. I think he would have a lot to prove because he was seen as a bit of a flop at United. And I think, look, when they're talking about Danny Ings at 50 million, you know, Edouard looks like he's going to go to Leicester. There aren't many options out there, I'm telling you. I would look at Depay. I really would. A very good link-up player. So, yeah, that would be the one for me. Thomas said the shirts have become a moral choice. Yeah, you're battling with yourself. Why did you feel like that when copping the 4-2-4? Listen, the 4-2-4 was a completely separate issue. Number one, it was a designer brand link up as well. So it was a collab. And number two, I thought we were winning the Europa League at the time. I was gassed. You know, we probably just beat Olympiacos or Benfica or something and they done me, man. But I ain't falling for it. It's even worse when you have Arsenal tattoos. What? Some of you, man, got Arsenal tattoos, yeah? I would not go anywhere near them tats, bro. No chance. Man said Daniel Sturridge, maybe 7 years ago. 4-2-4 coming like our formation. Bro, I wish we had 4 man up front. We'd have probably scored against Villarreal. We're more like 8-2-0, That's more like us. Curtis, what do you think about Souček? He had a good season. Very good season. Overhyping Depay? No, listen, I'm aware of Depay. I've seen him play quite a lot. He's not a big goal scorer. He doesn't mash like work in terms of numbers. I think he's a very good link-up striker, Listen, give me answers, people. If we were to sell Lacazette or sell Aubameyang, what striker would you like? Do you know what? I've seen a lot of people saying Andre Silva. 30 goals for Frankfurt this season. I think he was at AC Milan, wasn't he, Andre Silva, at one stage? And it didn't quite work out for him over there. I don't know what his actual situation is. Did he sign? I mean, they're saying here Manchester City have made contact with his agent. Portuguese international. And it looks like, he signed on a permanent for Frankfurt. 28 goals. He's had a big season. It could be an option, but like I said, Manchester City being linked with him. Dembele at Lyon, I would take a chance on him. Do you know what? He looked decent at Lyon, but he went Atletico and really struggled. And he's just giving me Jackson Martinez vibes. Anyone who remembers that guy, man, I remember us being linked with him for ages from Porto, and then in the end he went to Atletico and flopped, and he ended up in China, I think, and that was the end of it. Vlahovic, however you say his name, apologies if I got his name wrong. Apparently he's very good, and he's being linked with clubs as well. I think he's 21, banged goals in Italy last year. Would you take Tammy Abraham? Not a chance. I would not go anywhere near him. No disrespect to Tammy, man, but I'm not a fan of Tammy Abraham at all. Jackson Martinez, come on, man. A lot of you guys will remember him. FIFA days, Always used to have like a team of the season card at Porto. Went to Atletico and flopped. Ivan Toney will be difficult to get now. Apparently they want over 40 million. They're in the Prem as well. I think he might stay there for a year. Edouard, as I said, apparently far down the line in negotiations with Leicester. So I don't see it happening. Tammy is better than Eddie. He is, but it probably costs 35, 40 mil. I like Calvert-Lewin. I think with Calvert-Lewin, you've got to put crosses in to get the best out of him. We don't cross the ball well, and he would be expensive. Everton have got big owners, but I do think he would consider leaving now with Ancelotti going. Lord Bentner, he retired yesterday. Someone saying Curtis Shaw on a free. Listen, I do more than Eddie, man. Patson Dakar, he's done well in Austria, but I think people are a bit unsure as to whether he could do it at this level. Danny Ings, listen, I think Danny Ings is decent. I just think people have this issue with Ings that, he went to Liverpool, it didn't happen. A lot of it was down to injuries, but I do like Danny Ings. I have to admit, he's just not glamorous. If his name was Ingino, Daniele Ingino from Brazil, I'm sure clubs would like him, but Danny Ings, and the problem with Danny Ings, number one, he's had a major knee injury. Number two, he's 29 next month. And Southampton want 40 to 50 million for him. It would be a big risk. It would definitely be a big risk. Watkins, I just don't see the hype around Ollie Watkins. I really don't. Like I said, he costs 32 million for Aston Villa. They're going to want at least 45 to 50 million for him. Do you view Ollie Watkins as a 50 million pound player? He got 14 goals last year, to be fair, which is good at Aston Villa. 14 league goals, 5 assists. He's getting your Lacazette's numbers. I don't think he would come to Arsenal and blow up. Jovic, Luka Jovic. A lot of people talk about him. I don't know if he signed on a permanent. I know Real Madrid. Yeah, he's on loan at Frankfurt as well. So he obviously played with that Andre Silva. I mean, look, Jovic got 4 goals last season in 18 games. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be jumping through hoops to get him with that kind of record. Big up Bro, he said only 334 likes, 1.1k watching. Sorry, it doesn't add up. People, smash the like on the video. Can we get to 800-900 likes? Takes 1 second. It supports the channel massively as well. Can we at least get to 500? And big up to all of you, by the way. We just hit 26,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Much appreciated for all your support. Thank you for hitting the likes. Daniele Inguinho, man, he would be doing bits if his name was that and he was from Brazil. People, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel today. Thank you for the new members as well. And big up We Study Soccer, new subscriber here, bro. Big up. Big up. Go and check out FFTV, Forever Football with Franny Green. We'll be doing lots more work. You've seen him on here after the games as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. Go and head over to the Arsenal Lounge right now. They've got Fabrizio Romano, Mo, and Lee Judges on there. I'll be going straight over there. Go and check that out. Get your questions to Fabrizio. I have spoken to him. We are in contact. He is coming on this channel, hopefully this month. So look out for that as well. So we've got big things lined up. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you tomorrow, people. Take care, everyone. Bless.